Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday. A little bit of rain, but it's spring. We need rain. Looking forward to a wonderful 2 hours of hilarious radio. How come I feel like I'm doing the sweaty balls thing? I don't know why. For NPR.
That's what
Here's the thing right now. Before I get into all the stuff we're going to talk about, I've been sick and off all week, and if I raise my voice too loud, I will have a coughing fit for about 25 minutes. So I'm going to try to be as low key as possible. I'm going to try not to laugh, which is impossible on this show. But I can laugh inwardly and not out loud. Yeah, I can do that. On today's show, we're going to talk about, how some of you felt the earth move under your feet. And we're going to talk about Mother's Day, which is tomorrow. We're going to talk about a missed opportunity for Odie today. And really want to get into that. And you guys can pass judgment on him. And he's eyeing me now. We're going to talk about Thunderbolts, and we are doing spoilers today. So when we get to it, we'll let you know. If you haven't seen it, well, then you can step away. We really wish you wouldn't, but you can step away. Also, the latest episode of Dragon Ball Daima, AI Takeover, video games, Nerd Roundtable, and so much more. Before we get to all that, let me introduce you to the stars of the show, including our very own diva, Matthew Causey. You brought that on yourself. And the only reason why I'm calling you a diva is because you always come in late.
I'm not coming in late. I'm coming in before we're starting.
No, actually, you were earlier today than you were last week, which I didn't, we were a little concerned. I'm just glad you're here, by the way. But, some people, we need a star. You roll in when you want to be. So glad Matthew is here. Sans glasses, which is weird, unless they're just laying.
Oh, they're just laying next
to me.
Okay,
all right. It's easier to do the hair flip when you don't.
It's more of like, eventually, when I wear headphones over them, it gets really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't wear. That's why I don't wear my glasses.
Wearing them a little bit.
I don't understand why the next guy, Odie, can wear his glasses with his headphones.
Well, you see, I don't mind wearing my glasses with my headphones because I got some lovely soft headphones. They caress my head ever so gently and so tenderly and makes the earth move.
I also think that your head's dented. I think that may be part of it.
Well, I've been wearing glasses for a long time and I've been wearing headphones for a long time. And I've fallen a lot. So, yes, my head is dented.
All right. That's good to know. Also, Cameron's here.
Yeah, I am too, and I also am rocking the glasses headphones combo. That's only just because I'm used to discomfort.
I like discomfort.
I never said I liked it. I just said I was used to it.
All right, like I said before, and I apologize that I cannot get too loud because of the illness. Apparently, I have bronchitis. I'm going to talk about this first. I'm going to get it's a rant, and I want to get it out of the way first. Okay, so I don't like going to the doctor. I think most guys don't like going to the doctor unless you absolutely have to. My hand was forced because of regulations, Odyssey regulations, as far as
it's good regulation. Go
to
the doctor.
Doctor excuses go. I don't like to go to the doctor, and here's the reason why. You sit in the stinking thing, even if you have an appointment, for over an hour, then you go back, they look at you for 2 minutes. And it's just, there's got to be a way to regulate doctors' offices, hospitals, all these things. I mean, if I can go to Olive Garden and they can text me when they're ready, I can go do something else and I can come back. Oh, it's time for me to go back, or it's time for me to go to my table. That's just an option that I believe they should think about.
That just sounds like you're going either to a bad doctor or to one of those like a mega.
It's all doctors, and it could.
It's not all. I've never encountered that in any time.
All right, Matthew.
Well, we just
in my experience,
the doctors that Matthew
goes to. Yeah, I know. He ain't gonna tell us.
No,
because he goes right back.
Nice doctor, then
I'm not gonna share live on the internet where I.
Yeah, no, I know. So anyway, in my experience, in my 56 years of life, the only time that I got to go back was Dr. Zelensky's back in 1975. Dude was 95 years old and had hands colder than death. But if you had an appointment with Dr. Zelensky and you could barely understand him because he was German and he wasn't originally from here.
You went to see a German doctor?
Yes, I
I
did.
have a lot of questions.
Yes, I did.
To a few
Alonso, I
factors there.
want you to lie up against the bench and pull down the breeches.
Everything is not about that.
It is.
Okay?
He's German.
All right, so I did have to have a physical with him. A couple times.
So you probably did.
Anyway, that's how I know how cold his hands
Once
are.
my
Okay.
hands are very cold.
Yes.
Does it make
Anyway,
you-
some people
you
use
make your-
gloves,
it makes
and
your-
some people are German.
It makes
anyway.
your voice go nice. All right.
Anyway,
I'm going to be doing this to Deutsche Welle.
there's got to be a way to streamline this, and also I have a problem with. It was a nurse practitioner. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say that.
Okay.
She said, you have bronchitis. How long have you smoked? And I was like, I've never smoked in my life. And she's like, are you sure you didn't smoke? I swear I was so ticked. Anytime I talk to a doctor about something, how long have you drank? I've never drank in my life. Are you sure you've never? It's like, okay, how many people lie to these guys and girls
All of
where they
them.
just don't believe anybody?
Plenty of
All
people
of
will.
them. Everybody does.
But I find it an insult and a sword in my integrity when I tell you something that I didn't do something. Why don't you act like you believe me?
They have to follow up and verify on that because people will lie about those kinds
100%.
of things. Don't lie to your doctor.
What's
It is
fun-
very important that you do not lie to your doctor because
What's
they are
funny-
trying to help you.
Yeah,
What's
well,
funny
but
is, like,
here's the
follow-up is
problem,
just like,
Matthew.
are you sure?
Yeah, here's the
Okay.
problem when you're telling
But
them.
no, you could say it a little nicer. Obviously,
what-
if they said it like that, that's a bit of a rude way to say it.
When-
Okay,
But
okay,
yeah.
okay.
When you're
Sorry.
and it wasn't done. I'm not done with
Okay.
this lady. Okay, and she's like, your blood pressure is really high. Yeah, I know because I'm overweight. Well, you need to lose weight. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Okay, and I explained to her how I can't lose weight right now because I can't exercise. Well, there are other diets. I went on the Atkins diet. It's like, okay, good for you.
Good for you, lady.
I didn't say that. I'm trying to be, and plus I'm barely alive while I'm in there.
Also, not the
And-
problem you're trying to fix. here.
Yeah. And I explained to her that I need a knee replacement, but I can't get one until I can lose weight, and I can't lose weight until. And then she's like, well, and I said, excuse me, all bodies are not the same.
Oh,
and-
you go, girl.
And they treat you like all bodies are the same. Every one of us in this room, our bodies are different.
Exactly.
His and I might be similar because we have the same genes.
Yes, and I'm
But-
just an Adonis.
Well, there is that.
Well, you're also
Which is why we're
7-year-old
glad.
Faye
Yeah,
creature, so.
Yeah. We're glad you're dressed like an adult today. But anyway,
It's still so weird. He's wearing pants.
so am I the only one who has problems?
You never wear pants.
But you're taking it out of context now. You're making it look like I always Donald Duck.
All right.
I never said either of those
The
things.
text line and the stream are already going. Let me tell you how you can be a part of the show. 800-905-0989 on the text line. I'm going to get to those texts in just a second. And also, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. Let's see. Texture says, Lonzo, you said you're going to be Loki today. I already am. We await your Tom Hiddleston impression. Okay, I'll do something really weird to Odie later. Live on screen.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
I'm going
Texture
to
says,
English
Lonzo,
about
my
this
mother
later.
is listening and to you and agrees about doctors' waiting time and visiting time. Let us go to the stream. Man, I do want Matthew's doctor. I do. Let's see.
You can't afford matches.
Yeah,
though.
I can't. There's a certain kind of fame. Scott says,
Yeah,
evening,
I
guys.
would not be going to this doctor if it was expensive.
This week, the lawsuit by Nintendo against Pocket Pair over Pal World
Is it Conan's
Advance
doctor?
with
Dr.
Nintendo
Arroyo?
talking, with Nintendo claiming that the game mechanics of capturing creatures in a sphere infringe on Pokemon. This has some online commentators worried that if this holds up, Nintendo will try to copyright every game mechanic they have ever used in a game, including things as jumping on a platform, collecting items, riding a creature, shooting a weapon at adversaries. It's speculated that, and then it cuts off because it's really long. From what I understand, Pal World has already addressed that and gotten rid of those mechanics. So I was reading about that earlier. Let's see. Chris says, "Are you guys about to talk about the Computer Hall of Fame?" No, because I didn't know about it.
I thought this was actually really funny. I learned about this because Fox had a syndicated voicer about it that I saw. I didn't run it on our station because most of the people listening to the news talk shows aren't.
Talking about Pal World.
No,
Oh,
I'm talking
about
about the
Computer
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but
All right, I still don't
Quake
know what
is
it
in
is.
it. 007 in
Okay.
there.
Oh.
So some very, very significant stuff in there.
Which 007, like the proper GoldenEye?
GoldenEye
Oh,
007. Yeah.
Why'd you say the proper golden?
I meant to say that was two separate statements. It was the proper and GoldenEye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. All right. So my rant is over. And but if you want to comment, 800-905-0989. And we're on stream, like I said, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. I'm sorry, I hear me wheezing. I don't know if it's
No, I got
coming
you.
through
I got
on
you.
the
I got you.
thing. I'm gonna try not to get. No, I really.
I know.
am.
I got you
Yeah,
covered,
I'm
man.
starting to have that problem a little bit.
I
so
just think
here's what I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I want to. You can continue your
Okay,
point, and
alright.
afterwards, we'll go ahead and start the music. Continue your point.
Okay.
And I'm surly tonight. I'm on steroids. Anyway, go ahead.
Are you sure?
What I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I reckon when Matthew goes to the doctor, you know that tongue depressor that they use, the wooden thing. I bet you his one is gold
Probably.
or gold plated.
Probably
Not
tastes
one of those
wonderful.
fancy doctors.
You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD. When we get back, we're talking earthquakes. No, I was reading.
No, you're
I
right.
don't mind interrupting when I'm reading something.
The thought in my head was Matthew's Dr. Arroyo from Conan's Hot Ones.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
it's just a normal family practitioner.
Yeah,
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah, that's what that guy would say.
Yeah.
Matthew's
Good old
doctor rocks up
doctor
in
and
like a Ferrari, and he gets out, and there's like bikini-clad women all over him, and go, "Oh, doctor," and like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a second. What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure my doctor is married with kids, so no.
I just want to say Dr. Zelensky prescribed penicillin for everything. No matter
It worked very
no matter how
well
sick
in-
you are.
in
It
the
wouldn't shock
50s.
me. It would shock me. This was like 40 years ago. It would shock me if he's still alive. Like 135 years old, still in his, and it had that camphor smell when you walk in the doctor's office. It's just, they don't smell like that anymore. Only really old ones smell like that. And it's like nestled in the middle of a really bad neighborhood. Like the neighborhood was good, and over time it went bad, but his office was still there. He also, I think he took people without insurance, and that's why we were able to go there.
So there was a doctor I used to go to. I don't know when it was. It was a long time ago. But he used to smoke a pipe.
Here or there?
Oh, there.
Okay. Yeah.
He used to smoke a pipe as he was diagnosing. He'd have the pipe in his mouth, and he'd be talking away. And
Oh,
That's not good.
that would be interesting, though. I
was
mean,
cool.
he wasn't.
I'd be mad if my doctor was smoking while treating me.
this was back in the day, Matthias. This was back in the day.
They have
making it
they have no
better.
Surgeon General in Ireland.
We do. We just don't listen to him.
Okay.
You don't tell me what to do, and then they don't do it.
Exactly.
If we've learned anything, and if Odie is a representative of any sort of bit of Irish culture, stubbornness, I believe, would be the key.
They're not Irish. I'm just looking. They're not Irish.
Who's not?
The comment that we can't say out. The second one from the bottom.
Okay, because I'm looking at the.
I'm not going to say the
looking at
person's
Jim's.
name because they keep doing it.
I don't see it. I don't see what you're talking about. Maybe let me refresh.
Right above Viper Dave.
Oh, you're on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Whatever. We can't regulate. Well, we could.
No, we can't.
Yeah, you can block,
Yeah,
but I ain't gonna do
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Unless they get out of hand, whatever that is. Hello, Dave.
Which hand are they getting out of?
Hello, Dave.
I don't know.
Dave's not here.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Maisie, Daisy. Hey, open up, man. It's Dave.
Awkward crap. Awkward crap.
I told you you're gonna make yourself laugh, and it's not good.
Just remember, he's a fruit of your loins, so you know.
I'm very proud of my child right now. Can't beat him, join him.
We're all awkward crabs. Yeah.
If I were a rich man.
Come on, Matthew, join in. Awkward crab. You know, half the time at work when people are like having conversations,
I want to see an
by the
awkward
way,
crab hair
I
flip.
literally
That's
do
what I wanna
that
see.
in between them to get by, just to mess with them. They usually forget what the heck they're
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
See,
I
I,
probably-
can't do that.
I
in
probably
my
should
job.
try that. You should try that. Now you want to.
Yeah.
I want
It's
to.
Yeah.
I want to, but I can't. I just can't.
That gorilla will stand no chance because Matthew will beat it up.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, Odie, Cameron, and Matthew here. About 9:05 this morning, it was reported that there was a 4.1 magnitude earthquake around close to Knoxville, Tennessee. At first, they thought it was in Greenville, but it wasn't.
No.
Because if it was that big in Greenville, then everybody would have felt it. And it's one of those things where a lot of people immediately go, "Oh yeah, I felt that." Matthew, were you in the area?
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay, see?
I totally felt that
See?
earthquake that didn't happen here.
No
Do you
one,
feel
no
it, Mr.
one,
Krabs?
no one is doubting your sincerity right now. So I saw a lot of people. I was doing show prep, saw social media. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, there was an earthquake, but there was, and people felt it as far as Georgia, according to reports. And you can look at a map, and it shows where all the reports are and everything. I did not feel it, but we are a little bit further south, I guess.
We are.
And
I was trying to work out. I think I was in the shower, so I didn't feel it.
that's a shame.
Wait, what are you laughing at?
Listen, so I have a problem about this.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
First of all, there have been earthquakes in this area.
There have. Small little ones.
All right. So there's been an earthquake that was felt here. There's a sinkhole right over there. That window is broke.
Oh.
We're going to die, man. Okay. Here's the thing. This entire building is going to be sucked into hell. It's going to happen.
I get to sleep
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like, we're gonna survive. We're gonna have like a 4v versus like all the demons in hell kind of situation.
Well, here's the thing.
Listen. Satan owes me $20, and I gotta get down there to get my $20 some
Okay.
way.
Dude,
So
he told
No,
no.
it was your
He
You
fault.
told
take us with you.
He told me. No, he told me he didn't know it anymore.
All right. So
No.
I'm not.
I'm getting my $20.
I'm not going to say all joking aside because I am a little joking, but not entirely. I did respond to the email that we got earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone checked the tower? Okay, we got earthquakes coming. We got unexplained broken windows. I mean, we have theories, but nothing has been concrete about why the windows are broken. And then we got a sinkhole, a stone's throw from here.
Sinkhole.
A sinkhole,
Sinkhole.
sinkhole,
to
which
mile.
means something totally different in other neighborhoods.
Cinco de Mayo.
If that tower falls,
Sorry, I'm here.
if that
fine.
tower falls, we're in trouble.
We can't. Everything is fine because, as you know, I am one of the star players, and they can't be killed off in the season. So I'm good.
It's true.
Yeah, but a cliffhanger literally could happen. So
Yeah. And when Sylvester Sloan walked in, he's like, it's gotta get a bit of a cliffhanger going on here now. Yo, Adrian.
all
I
right.
just look at him
So,
like,
so not bad.
Yeah.
Not
Not
bad,
your
but
best
the,
work.
but the Irish is still in there. I mean,
Yeah.
if you could do an American version of that, maybe there's something to work on. So here's the thing: the entire building slides in. Me and Matthew and Cameron are on our way down to the destination,
Mhm.
whatever that would be. You're just hanging on to like your headphone wires,
Yeah.
and that are still plugged into the board that somehow
Plugged into the
stayed
cable.
outside
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's on the ledge.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
So you guys don't. I mean, I'm not acting like one of those guys that panics and freaks out and thinks things are going to happen and they don't. But am I the only one who has come to this conclusion that it's a possibility?
This is the end.
I mean,
Sweetest.
it could just
There is a fault line in South Carolina that
Right.
runs through South Carolina. So I mean, that's just what that is.
But that's not Carolina's fault.
We don't know. I don't know. You may know because you're a news guy.
I interviewed. This was back when the Elgin quakes were first starting up,
Mhm.
like a half a year into all of those.
Elven quakes.
Elgin.
Oh,
Elgin.
Down in the Midlands.
get excited.
I interviewed somebody
That's down there.
from the
Yeah.
Geological Survey about that. Or no, not from the Geological Survey. It was a university professor who was a geologist. It was a pretty interesting interview.
Okay.
So it was a while back, but he explained a lot about some of those. It's long enough ago that I don't remember all the details.
So-
there's a fault line that's become a little bit more active in South Carolina again.
Do you recall what direction and how the fault line spreads as far as around here?
It doesn't really hit up here. It basically runs through like the middle of South Carolina. It's a very light one that's just kind of been reactivated a little bit, but it's not. It's not a very.
Admittedly, I'm not earthquake guy here, but so tremors from other fault lines, can they cause a fault line to become active if it's not?
Probably. I don't see why not, but I'm not. I didn't ask about that.
So the Brevard fault line goes through.
Brevard.
Okay, that goes through Anderson County, and it goes through.
Was he a coward? No, he's a Brevard.
Brevard. Listen,
I don't believe it was the Brevard one. It was another one.
well, there's the Eastern Piedmont fault system, and that's nobody's fault at all. There is the South Georgia rift zone. Is that where you go in and go, hey man, I got a rift, I'm going to rift it down? Or is that like someone that can't pronounce words like me going down a whitewater river in a rift as opposed to a raft?
It's all those but combined at the same time.
Tremendous. And we've got the Helena Banks fault. Banks are at fault. Banks are always the fault.
So when we moved here, I never thought that there would be a possibility of earthquakes, and same thing with hurricanes. And we know that's not true. I mean, new hurricanes were in the area and some hit, not like what we have with Helene.
Do you know what the scariest thing in the world ever is? Tornadoes. And when you get a tornado warning, when you've lived in Ireland your entire life, poop comes out.
Well, as someone who lived where, well, in a sense, because there was a tornado siren on the light pole right outside our yard.
Did it ever go off?
A bunch of times. And here's the problem. It's, they're loud.
Yeah.
They're especially loud when they're like aimed in the direction of your house. And it's like from here to the mailbox, or actually a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And it's like, so immediate panic goes through you.
Yeah.
And as a little kid, just start crying.
Poop comes out.
Because we had tornadoes come straight down the road and go up over our house and hit other things.
Oh
yeah. Tornadoes are pretty bad. So, earthquake, not here, but felt by a lot of people. You don't know how many people on social media actually felt it, and not ones who just said, "Oh yeah, I was on the toilet and I saw the toothpaste dispenser move." So yeah, I felt
definitely weren't straining that hard.
Yeah, well,
I was queuing up at Starbucks. I was trying to get an orange mochaccino latte, and all of a sudden, everything started moving. And so I definitely felt it, okay?
All right, Chris on the stream says earthquakes equate to squatch activity. Did a squatch break the window? I am not quite sure about that.
We think he did.
I do know, as I'm having trouble sleeping because of the illness, and last night I watched a Dishscape, and which are just Dishscapes are for, because we have Dish Network, and they have like a pretty meadow, and I was watching like butterfly one. And and then suddenly a Sasquatch came out and started chasing the butterflies.
The way that we can know that Squatch did not do the window is because Odyssey isn't suing him to get the window replaced.
That we're aware of. That's kind of above our pay grade.
Take that under.
All right, we come back. We're going to talk about something that's happier. We're going to talk about, all right, for some people, we're going to talk about Mother's Day. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Sorry, I just saw another brother who showed up. I think it's Villa, their younger brother.
Oh, dang.
Or it might be Fatu's brother. He looks a lot more like Fatu.
So many ooses.
By the way, got me a Fatu shirt coming. Ordered it today. Yes.
Matthew, are you feeling this?
He definitely is. Matthew came to fight, and I just, I don't know why he wants to fight with me. Fight with Odie.
I don't know. I got Rob energy tonight.
Yeah, you do. Not as loud though. There's
no one's as loud as Rob.
Why is what? Dude, I don't know. Is there a microphone over there? Is that what it is? A microphone? There were a ton of chairs over here. So I'm guessing there were a bunch of people interviewed in this room.
Oh,
I know I repeat that all the time, but just
Maybe
seriously,
I was
one man cutting through thousands of people talking.
I don't know. Was there a big interview Friday night with Charlie? Was there a bunch of chairs and stuff in here, like lined up, like there was a bunch of people interviewed?
no one that came in physically.
Okay, so maybe someone else was interviewed.
podcast or something, or
Could be.
Yeah.
Or maybe that one show that's on like a couple hours before us had to come in and record or something. I don't know.
okay.
You better hope and pray that you make it someday in your own world. 'Cause only time will tell if you can break that spell back in your own world.
All right. He's got me on this one. I don't know. this
'Cause
song.
when you sleep at night, you don't even cry back in your own world.
Why do I feel like we're getting Labyrinth right now? Is Minions about to pop out? Or
Why?
something?
Why? You're saying it was David Bowie?
It's not David Bowie.
No,
Hey,
it's like,
thanks very much for the
it's
compliment.
Like a discount, David Bowie.
Okay. So who was that? And what
That is
songs?
Shakespeare's sister with "Stay with Me." That's the wordy bit.
Okay. Still no idea.
Oh,
When was this out? Circa 1972.
1999, I want to say.
Okay. Was this a hit on the British charts?
It was a hit on the European charts.
Okay, that's probably why.
Europeans.
Yeah, that doesn't always come over here, which is not always a bad thing.
Not always a bad thing.
Sometimes you should just stay over there, you know?
I enjoyed your passion.
Sorry, what?
He adjusted his glasses.
Not that what you did was bad. It was actually pretty good.
You like it? I liked it. I liked it. I always like it. You know why? Because I'm amazing.
Keep that confidence, kid. You'll go far.
I went far. I've gone far.
Yeah, you got. I mean, he went all the way to Dubai. We still don't know why.
We don't know why you left there.
What the Sam Hill's going on?
What? The Samuel L. Jackson Hill.
Trying to find the song.
It is a song.
That's the song.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you sang it much better than that. Oh, this is a Britney Spears takeoff. Oh my God.
She's cute as well from back in the day.
Yeah, that would have to be what it is for you to be. Okay.
She's gothy looking, but she's cute.
'Cause when you sleep at night, you don't.
I'm not worried about us getting
cry
flagged for this.
in
Ain't nobody
your
heard this
own
song
world.
before.
'Cause only time will tell.
I'm just after realizing they're the same person.
Ooh. Welcome back into the Upstate. Burn this song, and this is
Sorry.
the Upstate Pulse. You just showed me. I'm just like this. I
pressed the wrong button.
I hate this song with all my being, and it caused me to not be able to.
No, because this is the
figure
one.
out.
This is the new one I put in 2 weeks
It's
ago.
country. I don't like country.
It's electro country.
I'd
It's
actually
still
say it's a little bit more
country.
Western.
It's probably a little more
Yeah,
Western.
it's Western.
This is the Upstate Pulse Lounge.
Have
I'm
you
here along with
Western style?
Odie and
Have you seen
Cameron
my boots? Have you seen the
and,
boots I have on?
uh,
I'm being Western.
You've seen the
Western.
pants.
maybe they
it's
should
still
be for
stirrups.
walking.
I want to get stirrups.
Matthew's
I think
also here.
I need
Yeah.
stirrups.
I'm here.
Me and Matthew
your
are just
boots?
here.
What?
We're here.
I'm vibing.
I noticed that. Good for you. All right. Wow.
Wow. Wow, man. Oh, hold on.
I had this whole thing where I was going to say this next segment is called "Word to Your Mother," and then now I can't do it because you just threw me with the whole music. And I know "Word to Your Mother" is corny, but not as corny as that song.
Say hi to your mom
I'm
for
gonna-
me.
Yeah. Say hello to your mama for me.
Look at Mark Wahlberg, isn't it?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
betray Mark Wahlberg. Hey, how you doing, guys? Say hi to your mom for me.
Hey, chicken. How you doing?
How you doing, chicken?
Say hello to your mother for me.
All right,
Does
so
he say mother or does he say mom?
he says
say,
mother.
Say hello to your mother for me.
He says mother.
He says mother.
Yes. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and unlike Father's Day, everyone had a mother. I mean, sometimes fathers don't stick around. Mothers sometimes don't stick around either, but without your mother, you wouldn't be here. Even if you were born from a test tube, because you still need a mother, but then you also need to. Anyway, tomorrow's Mother's Day, and I'm on medication.
Yes, please give him some grace.
No, I'm good. I'm trying not to die
Please
here.
speak slowly.
Text line 800-905-0989. We are live on stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or X. I try to do this every single year, and I'm going to do it again because we get new listeners, especially now on a bigger frequency. What is the most pop culturist thing that your mom taught you when you were a kid? And this could be anything. Your mom may have taught you how to play video games. She may have got you hooked on a certain kind of music. She may have introduced you to video games, comic books. A lot of those my mom actually did. So the first time I was ever in an arcade, it was actually a pinball hall before arcades happened. And mom, they put me up on what I call a pop crate, what you guys would call a soda crate. And I played pinball. And it was pretty cool. And I was like 3, I guess. And I probably was bad at it, but that's okay. It was fun.
So
and
you
I
would have
remember that.
considered yourself a pinball wizard.
I remember my mom also, she's still alive. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Is very eclectic as far as music goes. We were listening to Crocus. We're listening to Marvin Gaye. We're listening to Kiss. We're listening to the Drifters. I mean, so many different things. And as music progressed, so did she, and her taste still was all over the place. And so I got to get an eclectic music style from my mom. And again, like a lot of moms and dads, they're the first ones to buy you your first gaming system. Some of them don't understand it. They don't. They just know you're into it and they get it for you. So they've helped you pop culture wise. And so I just want to say happy Mother's Day to my mom. And my wife is awesome. And I know she's listening right now. And I think my daughter is a great mother too. And the fact that her daughter's awesome is part of because she's awesome. And not to get too sappy. And again, not everyone's on the best terms with their mom, but it's not that hard to, call or send an email or a text just saying happy Mother's Day. Cameron, you want to say anything about your mom? About your mama?
Well, other than that, she's an awesome lady, and well,
I know it's sappy, but hey, how many people actually have the chance to say that sort of thing?
True. I was thinking about, like, you were talking about, like, people.
Dude, don't do
What?
that.
I'm not.
He's not doing anything. Don't worry about it.
Do her. Give your mom compliments. She's a great lady.
Well, Mom, why are you playing
Kenny
that
G?
music?
You want Kenny G?
No, that's not the right music.
There's a
for
story
this.
behind it. There's a story.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to know what the story is.
Well,
behind
sure
it.
we do. It's radio. We're talking about moms.
Well, anyway, the thing that Mom got me into was a lot of different music, because she'd have a lot of different things on tapes, which dates how old I am. But
Tapes rock, man.
But like, we'd listen to that on the way to school and stuff. That always calmed me down before I got into there and everything. We'd listen to Creed and to like Def Leppard, and because Mom really loves Def Leppard.
She does. She's really into Def Leppard.
I'd give my right arm to be able to play like the drummer from Def
You are
Leppard.
so funny.
Because the one thing that, like, you don't really consider my mom as much. I can't really think that
As a rocker, but she
is a
can
rocker.
be. Yeah.
You knew exactly what I was
Windows
thinking of.
down, Def Leppard,
Yeah.
full up, and just singing better than them because she has a beautiful voice.
Like,
So,
she's toured to different places and, like, with a group and sang in a whole bunch of different venues and stuff like that. She is literally a rock and roll star.
All right,
So-
text line 800-905-0989. Texter says, Lonzo, Mom taught me the value of great storytelling, which led to my appreciation of pop culture. On stream, Chris says, my mom got me an Avalon Hill board game, Panzer Blitz, best game ever. And I don't know that, but I'm going to have to look that up. All right, what's the deal behind the song?
My mother loves Kenny. She loves Kenny G.
That's it? That's all you had for
That's
that?
all I had for that.
All that build up with Kenny G.
That's okay. John
Making me
says, my
slip
mom
up.
introduced me to butt whooping.
Ooh.
I don't know. You probably deserved it, John.
I was about to
yeah,
say
you
that.
probably.
I got some good butt whooping too. Listening
You
to
know,
this.
oftentimes we deserve a good butt whooping.
Oh, I definitely did.
Keep the music up. But
Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember if my mom specifically got me into anything pop culture related, but she's always been a super loving and supportive person. Even now, I love her so much, and she's an amazing person, and she has always been there and continues to be.
You know, it's awesome though. She also listens to the show on occasion.
Occasionally, she does. Yeah, I don't know if she's listening right now, but if so, love you, Mom.
She has
Otherwise,
great musical
love
taste.
you anyway.
She's jamming to Kenny G right now.
you know,
Tomorrow.
you would think that the Kenny G would make it easier.
All right, I'm just going to tell you
emotional,
from
but it
what I
makes it so much
understand,
harder.
from what I can tell from osmosis, Matthew's mom not into Kenny G. I'm just saying.
Probably
I
not,
have no
no.
idea.
By the way, everyone was into Kenny G. If you lie and say you don't like Kenny, that's an amazing artist, right?
It is. It's a great song.
I wouldn't go see him
True,
in
but it's
concert,
not.
but that's fine.
That's not the mood for what this is.
Yes, it
That's-
is.
Here's
that's a
here's the
different kind
here's
of
the thing. You know who doesn't want Kenny's hair? Imagine Kenny G's hair on Matthew.
I've just
That would be
Majestic.
awesome.
Do you know what I've just noticed though? this is probably a slur on me. Is I'm watching the Kenny G video here because it's up on the thing,
Be careful.
and he's wearing very light blue jeans,
Huh. Like somebody else I know
like
today.
somebody else. That's hold on. If you're watching on the stream, somebody else that's wearing very light.
It's still
blue
so
jeans.
weird that he's wearing pants.
It is. It's
He never
very
wears
very
pants.
strange.
Are you
And
really
listen,
Odie?
I know everyone doesn't have the best relationship with their parents, and so when you talk about these, I don't want to avoid days because it some people are not happy about it, and I feel bad for your situations, and not everything was great for. I mean, I bet there are some people out there who had the most awesome childhood, the most awesome relationship, everything. That doesn't happen with everyone, but there's probably something good about, your parents somewhere. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. Odie missed an opportunity, and Matthew's just angry today, so I'm sure Matthew's just going to give Odie what for not doing something that he could have done. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Irish women are wrestling, Odie.
Oh, do some work here now.
Pin her. Kick her in the face. Both of them. I don't like either one. Both of you kick each other in the face.
Oh God, I can't believe this, Odie. I can't believe you can just randomly give me $20.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he could have done that, and he didn't. So now I'm mad.
That's
Wait,
why.
That's the
Is-
only thing I can
Is
come up
Odie
with.
the devil? You said the devil owed you $20.
You're right. He did say that.
Get behind me, Satan.
know,
I cannot confirm or deny.
You know,
Odie was gone for a month.
Matthew, I could get you a super shotgun and we can go and get that $20.
I got my own.
As long as there's some heavy metal music playing when you do it.
Absolutely.
Like heavy metal.
Use
not
up the
heavy metal.
Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Yeah, rip and tear. I was about to say
We're
rip and
talking about
tear.
Doom, dude.
All right, buddy. Car in took. Let's go do this.
I'm getting my $20 back.
That's right, Snake.
Oh no!
You know what? I was genuinely trying to come up with what the heck I'm gonna do for the Christmas radio special.
Happy and Snake go to hell.
See, I have a lot of.
I don't know if
explaining
that
to do
I don't know if
Probably
that
not
fits
gonna
with
work out
Christmas.
well.
I'm just saying,
See, I've got a lot.
We're
of
gonna go
explaining
kick
to do.
Krampus'
You know-
butt
yeah,
for the third time.
You know who's
See the
dead
message?
right now? You don't know?
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah,
know
big
who that is. Oh, cool.
I ain't done with you yet.
It is.
No, it's too
I got-
early.
no,
to
I
bring
got-
back
no,
the
I got you.
Krampus.
No, I got you.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, you got
You
me.
can't
Yeah,
bring
I
back the
understood.
main villain immediately in the next arc.
Hello. I don't know. Do you like Kenny G? I don't know. Everybody does it. You need to be scared.
Well, you, Chris, what are you packing when you're going? Chris has offered to ride to hell with you guys to get that $20.
That's right, Chris. Let's go get that $20.
I'm just gonna say this out here and out now. None of y'all are coming to my house. That's it.
I think they were talking about going to Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah. Hell,
I don't
Michigan.
know
What
why
are you
I grabbed
talking
them.
about?
I don't know why I grabbed them. We're minutes out.
You threw. You
You see, I know for a fact that lady has never seen this show.
Oh,
So I'm kind of like,
also, so now you think you need to be behaved?
I probably do.
Yeah, like
Do I need to behave? You can text me on my own phone number. Do I need to be behave?
not on the secret phone number, but the old phone number. Not
My own phone number. Not my
Oh,
old.
it sounded like you said old. Like
No,
like,
not the
not,
90.
not the patio phone. Not
Maybe
that.
the burner phone.
Not that
Maybe
phone.
it is.
Yeah, if my mom ever watches, it's not while we're live, and I'm not. I mean, I'm more fearful of LexCorp than I am mom. The ginger Irish lady is beating up the Irish goddess. She's got a bloody elbow though.
Oh, bloody elbow.
I think what sells
Oh,
that
now
the
she's
best is
she's wiping the
hesitation
floor
for a
with
second.
her.
It's like, oh, Scottish.
She also,
No.
yeah, she weighs like 50 pounds.
Don't
How much
care.
how much damage could she do? I can't stand her. Man, I can't
I
stand
let
her.
her try.
Yes, she does. I mean,
Yes, I like Kenny G.
I told you. I mean, it's hard.
I think everybody likes
It's. I think even the people who say they hate Kenny G, they don't.
I think everybody
I,
likes
I
Kenny G.
Who would
mean,
really hate Kenny G?
I
I just
mean-
thought Kenny G didn't really fit that moment, but
Kenny G
Kenny
fits.
G does
he
fit the
fits
moment.
just about every
Kenny G
moment.
fits
I
every
always thought
moment.
it was more romantic than anything else. It doesn't really fit. Like,
No, how's that? I mean,
all right, that's what I always think of saxophone as, but
it's not a saxophone.
is it not?
It is a saxophone.
I don't think he's playing the saxophone.
Yeah,
though.
he does. Yeah.
I thought it was like the clarinet.
Why
Or
is
not
that
the
a clarinet?
It's like
We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Do I? Do I?
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here along with Cameron, Matthew, and Odie. Before we get to the story, I want to tell you, I want to remind you about Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive, for all your pop culture needs. Got Dungeons and Dragons stuff like dice and figures and books. You also got obviously comic books. They've got manga. They've also got, that's two different things, depending on who you are. They've got pop figures. They've got used vintage video games. They've got Pokemon, which is something that we're getting ready to talk about. So if you need something like that, go to 410 South Pleasantburg Drive and go to Borderlands Comics and Games. Say hi to Rob. Tell him that you heard about it here on the Upstate Pulse. And you'll appreciate it because you'll have a good time. Speaking of a good time, Odie calls me this morning, and when Odie calls me, usually it's like, oh no, he can't come tonight. And with me being sick, I'm like dreading that. It's like, oh great, I have to try to run the board and do the show at the same time. Not good for me tonight because it would be noobtacular. But instead, I'm gonna paraphrase here. He's like, why are all these gamers standing in line?
That's the word I use.
Okay, all right. He's like, why are all these nerds in line at GameStop? That's what he said. And I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, they're just all out there. I was like, well, Odie, and I think Matthew's going to agree with me on this. I do believe he's going to agree. I was like, Odie, go interview him. And he's like, well, my phone doesn't really work. It's like, just go stop and go.
Yeah, just go.
Just go ask him. I mean,
Talk to him.
and I tried to get him to go on the Upstate Pulse
You've
Facebook
randomly
page.
accosted people
Could have
before.
went Facebook Live, and it would have been news exclusive because we, as employees of WORD,
Yeah.
we are we're reporters when we're out, and you also have a talk show. So I mean,
Yeah.
and you're on this show too. So I
Yeah.
mean, and you fill in everywhere. You're Odie. You're famous. Everyone knows who you are. You should have went up and talked to these fine young men and women and nerds at GameStop to find out why they were there. Why did this is? I mean, we all know how outgoing that guy is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
this we know. We've been in public with you, and it almost was like a bout of shyness. It was like I don't know, man.
Sometimes it can. Sometimes,
Yeah,
not very often. It really doesn't happen.
Look,
very
I
often
don't
at
think
all.
this is really Odie we're dealing with because he's wearing pants for one,
Yes.
and secondly, he's not being outgoing.
Were you wearing pants when you were driving by?
Yeah, I was dressed as I am now.
So
That's got to be it.
well, you would have scared some of them, but
Would have.
others. So here, what you do? See, I told Cameron, here's what I would have done:
Very cool.
is you go out there and you hold the phone up.
Mhm.
So, and these are gamers; they know about being online.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, this is Odie from the Upstate Pulse,
Yeah.
the pop culture show on Saturday nights. We're gonna find out why these people were in line. And as soon as you turn around, the guys who are online all the time, they would have talked to you.
They
The other
would've.
ones that are shy and backward, they would have turned the other way.
And ran away.
No, they stayed in line. You
Okay.
ain't getting them out of that
No,
line.
Yeah.
And it
No,
turned.
it just sometimes
for a
just it doesn't happen very often. It really doesn't happen very often. But sometimes, very, very, very rarely, I will get a dose of, oh no, there's people.
Yeah, well, that's me all the time. So I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't
So,
happen. very
question
often.
for you.
Yeah.
Does that involve
Mm.
also wearing pants?
Why, what is your obsession with my braces
because
tonight?
is the lack of confidence come from restriction?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe
I just
if you were
I mean,
wearing shorts.
They're
then
not.
you'd
They're
be-
not tight.
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty
I
of
mean,
room
when
in
your
them.
legs are free and the wind
Maybe
is
it all
blowing.
has to do with your calves, Odie.
Yeah,
Maybe my calves.
I know my
yeah.
confidence comes from my calves. I'm really confident right now.
Mine are really powerful. That's why I
Yes.
like to keep them free.
I'm slapping my calves right now.
I mean, I can slap them, but they sound.
Yes, it's not the same,
Hey,
dude.
Mr. Runner,
It's a-
slap
it's
your
a-
calves.
It's not the same.
It's
All
a,
right.
it's a
His
music-
calves are sore. Leave him alone.
Unironically, they've been my left lower leg has been kind of sore since
So
the
glad you
5K when
finished
I
that,
landed
'cause-
on a route wrong.
What?
Ooh,
And then, yeah, no, when I was running, I mentioned this last week.
Yeah.
That about halfway through the 5K, it was that a section of it was in a dirt path with a bunch in a wooded area, and I landed on a tree root wrong, and my left ankle as a result was sore for most of the rest of it. And running another mile and a half after landing on my leg wrong like that definitely has left it lingering. So I haven't been able to run this week just to kind of make sure that it doesn't. I don't want to injure it.
that's right. You need to take care of yourself. So anyway,
I think maybe it is. I think I'm like Samson,
Mhm.
and my strength is in my legs.
yeah. So
Well, everyone's strength is in their legs.
well,
No, my
except for
mental-
people
How
that
much
don't.
leg
There's
have
some
you
people that don't have legs.
Yeah.
There's-
So
the
I
strength has
think
to
the
be-
ultimate Odie
like
would be Odie.
Lieutenant Dan.
well,
Yes.
yeah, but your legs are your strongest muscles.
Well,
They
if you have them, yeah.
Again,
Uh,
apart
yeah.
from
We're not
All right,
talking
so-
about like actual.
I'm not
strength.
talking about specific cases for certain individuals, obviously.
All right,
But
so here's the reason why people were lined up at GameStop. There was TCG Prismatic Evolution restocks, and
Yep.
so I right away I just Googled GameStop. That's the first thing that popped up, and there's a bunch of notes on doors of GameStops. Why is this a big deal, Matthew?
I don't know. I don't play the Pokemon TCG.
Okay, well,
What?
I don't know. I mean, I know you're into Pokemon, so I thought you might know about the cards and why.
I'm aware of them, and I had a friend teach me how to play years ago.
Okay, so you're the only one here who's actually played.
Well, I've played Top Trumps, if that's anything similar.
Top what?
Top Trumps.
I don't know what that
Top
is.
trumps?
It's
What's
where you
that?
have like I used to play it for cars. So you have a Ford, for argument's sake, Ford Mustang, and it'll have all the stats, the 0 to 60 time of it, and it'll have the power to weight ratio and all that kind of stuff. And then say somebody else with a Camaro or something like that, they're 0 to 60 time, and you say, okay, what's your 0 to 60 time? And the person holding the Mustang might say 4.3 seconds, and the person with the Camaro might say 4.2 seconds. So then
It's nothing like that.
All right, Texture, you're trying to make me. So Texture says, Lonzo, so if Odie actually did Donald Duck it, he would be unstoppable.
oh, sorry, we're live.
Yeah,
still.
and remember who's watching.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so you probably you probably don't want to do that.
But she's seen it before. You know?
Okay, anyway.
My legs, I mean.
So I got if you guys do play Pokemon, let us know why that's. I guess is a big deal. I mean, because
It's some big set.
yeah, the
but I
fact
don't
that you can only that they're only selling two sets per customer, and a lot of people were lining up to get those things, and
There was
so that's what it
probably
was.
either a stock issue or it's just a really big, really important set.
All right, so I'm not disparaging GameStop at all because I spent a lot of time at GameStop back in the day when I was getting physical copies of games, and I think
Do you not get physical copies anymore?
not so much,
Okay.
no, and probably because a lot of it is play a lot of games on GameStop on Game Pass, and because of that, I haven't been in GameStop in forever.
Yeah, but do you not miss the inlays, the cards, and all that kind of stuff with the maps and all that kind of stuff?
For
they
a
don't have
long
those anymore.
time, I was physical copy guy,
Oh.
so
I'm still a
Yeah.
physical copy guy.
yeah, and I just haven't. And I've got a decent library of games from a bunch of different systems. It's just lately I haven't been in GameStop, and I wonder if for a while it looked like they were going to go bye bye, and then of course the stock thing happened, and that helped them survive. And I know they were redoing their stores so that people could come in and do different things. Apparently, Pokemon is one of those things.
Mm.
So if you were someone who was in line, let us know if you actually got some of those cards. Text line is 800-905-0989. Sorry, you can't call in because most people are drunk. And now he's trying to see if he actually did do something, and now he did.
No, he did it, and now he's after undoing it.
Yeah, and okay.
Well, we're going into the news. If drunk people want to call into the show during the news, I will take the call.
I would prefer that drunk people didn't call at all, but they do. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and I'll take the call. I'm Irish. I speak drunk person.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay. Is it what age is that taught?
Well, is in Ireland it's taught at about 18.
Okay.
Because
I didn't know because
that's the legal drunken age.
I thought like a Europe you could like drink wine at
You can have
at
it
supper.
at like 12.
Yeah. I thought
I've had too many martinis.
legitimately I've always read that you could do that in Europe at a younger age.
You can drink wine for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where that's why France is France. Speaking of France, we're going to be talking about some Claire Obscura Expedition 33 in the next hour. We also have a wonderful AI takeover. Three of the four of us have watched Thunderbolts. Last week we reviewed it. This week we are going to review it with spoilers and with some speculation. And I'm interested to hear what Matthew liked, what he didn't. And I will tell you what I liked and what I didn't. Cameron will do the same thing. Maybe you like the entire thing. Also, the latest episode of Dragon Ball Daima dropped. We got to see some forms that
I'm interested to see how y'all thought
that
about it.
were a specific form that was not considered canon to a degree. And now I guess it is. And
It's canon now.
and we're going to talk about what happened to it after this. But anyway, and Matthew may know because he's seen the last couple episodes. Maybe there's a memory wipe. I don't know. All right. One big hour over, another big hour to come. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I'm taking my pants off.
I would say I dare you, but you would. And I don't, I don't. Actually, I don't care. If you want to sit there in your tidy whities, you go for it. But if it shows up on screen, probably LexCorp will have something to say to you. Maybe not, though. I mean, the Rise guys are in the building, and they've been at least in pajamas before I've seen. So
I don't know how low the bar is.
How low can you go?
I think it depends on what station you're on.
Okay.
As far as
I've
the low bar for this station is this show.
Yes, we are.
It's this show.
I've been naked in public many times.
Yes, but you're not in Europe.
Volunteering for artist things is just like, yeah, I'll be your model.
No. Drunk.
Okay. I was going to say, out of anyone in this room, you're the one guy who would volunteer for that.
Oh, yeah. Of course I would.
I was about to say, the rest of us are tied for last.
Yeah, I could just like drop throw and get naked. Naked mile. Run.
Streaking? Do they call it streaking in Ireland?
They do, but that wasn't
Okay.
streaking. That was just. I forgot who's listening. Sorry.
Dude, you're like 44 or something. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. And none of us know probably a tenth of the things you've done. And some of us don't want to know.
True.
But, you know, plenty of showtime left. Yeah, Chris, apparently people do. Good
And
for
they
them. Let them work, let them live.
listen to Kenny G.
Matthew, when's the last time you went to GameStop?
I don't know, like a couple months ago or something. Probably.
Okay, cool.
It was whenever Xenoblade Chronicles X came out.
Okay, I'm not anti. I just haven't. Luckily, a lot of the games that I've been playing lately, they all came out on Game Pass. So, as far as physical copies of Oblivion, I have the old ones. I have like 3 copies because back then DLCs came in a separate separate cartridge, not cartridge, but CD, DVD, whatever it is.
I like how we're talking about GameStop, like how the characters of the night still top on back then. How many years has it been for you?
Constipation?
Nope. Getting ready to give him a free gun.
What are we getting ready?
We had other songs, right?
Don't care.
Why don't you throw in some Yanni or some John Tesh?
Who the hell is John Tesh?
You don't know John Tesh?
No.
What's this?
Apparently, this is a song from SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, Sponge on the Run.
Yeah.
And it's by Kenny G. It's called Gary's Song. It's got
Squidward plays the same instrument that Kenny G plays, right?
Kenny G plays a saxophone and Squidward plays a clarinet.
Kenny G plays more than
that.
So
I think it's a soprano sax.
on the song you were playing, I don't think he's playing saxophone.
He is soprano sax.
A what?
Soprano sax.
You didn't. There was no P in that first time you said it.
Is that Gary?
Soprano sax.
Yes, he just recognized the song. All right, I guess Lyra actually won.
Good old Care Bear.
But it looks like Becky beat the mess out of her.
Where did I leave the P out of it?
You and Serrano.
Serrano sax.
Yeah.
My brain instantly went soprano sax.
Okay, well, still, I mean, there was no P there, so I was like, what's the Serrano? It could be a thing. I don't know.
You said Serrano sax, right?
Yes.
I said soprano, but the P was obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, you did not say any of that right.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I am muddled right now, but somewhere through the snot, I don't think I lost a P. But I
need to be careful typing this because I'm typing in different types of sax.
Yes.
Also, you didn't pronounce sax very well either.
Well, no,
with the soprano.
He didn't use his
so the soprano sax
uses
looks
American
like a
accent.
clarinet, and you've got the baritone sax, and you got the tenor sax, which is the and then you got the alto sax, which is what Lisa Simpson plays. No.
Becky poked her in the eyes. Such a heel. Such a heel. I know, Trey. John Tesh is awesome. I have a John Tesh album. I also have a Yanni album, but I'm a keyboard guy. I like you know Yanni, right?
Yanni?
Yanni.
Probably.
Yanni has the same kind of Kenny G jams, but with like keyboard.
I like how this is.
How do you spell
the
it?
direction of the show.
Yanni, I think.
Okay.
You'll know him because he's European. And since you're the expert on all things European, you'll immediately recognize him as European.
Oh.
He bobbleheaded.
He did.
He's a sexual man.
He is. I mean,
he has a mustache.
He does.
Does that make you sexual?
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
I'm an extremely sexual man. I've got a mustache.
Yeah, but it's connected to that thing.
The mustache connected to that thing connected to these things connected to that thing, and that's
so
on my head.
Mutton chops are connected to the goatee, which is connected to the mustache.
They're not mutton chops though. They're kind of like...
No, they are if they're connected to the goatee. I mean, if you take the goatee off, they're mutton chops.
Yeah, but certain things
Ask
are
the listeners then, because you're wrong.
Certain things are certain things. With
if the goatee and the mustache are gone, but that's still there, that's a mutton chop.
Yeah, but it's not a mutton chop as it is.
Right, but a mutton chop connected to a goatee connected to a mustache.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
It's not. Can't hear you. Soundproof headphones.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse, affectionately called the Nerd Hour. It used to be the third hour Nerd Hour until the man took it away from us, which was many, many years ago, but I'm still bitter. What can I say?
Take it away.
That third hour was so much fun.
Do you reckon we could do a petition, and get to LexCorp and
Yeah, it's not going to work.
sign
It's
people
not.
sign it?
I don't know if you know, but someone bought the hour before us. So,
We could do the hour after it.
Yeah, but I'm not going into Clyde's time.
Yeah, but Clyde could go after us then.
Clyde does go after us.
We
We
could
lead
go-
into Clyde Lewis. I love Clyde Lewis.
Yeah, but then Clyde could
Better
do an
production
hour.
than I'll ever do in my life, and I am an award winner.
He could do an
That's
hour.
all I'm
later.
saying.
It's still weird to see you fanboy.
Too,
Something.
I'm not the only one. Chris Evans fanboys too. He's got the best production, and I don't know if he
'Cause on
does
the way
it.
home, you're just like, he's so good.
It's so just the production, the music going in and out, how they combine things, all the cuts.
Here's the
It's
thing.
just it's perfect for what he's about to talk about. It's just I just really enjoy it. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. In this hour, we are going to be talking about Thunderbolts. We're going to talk Dragon Ball Daima. We are going to talk AI Takeover, video games, and Nerd Roundtable, and of course, the lightning round to finish up the hour. If you would like to be a part of this here program, text line is 800-905-0989. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and at X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WRD. I would like to apologize for my voice, but I've been sick all week. Apparently, I have bronchitis and I'm on the edge of pneumonia. And I'm not quite sure what it would take to take me out of pneumonia and onto something else, but pneumonia, because I don't want pneumonia. Out of bronchitis on pneumonia, and I'm delirious, but I'm not really. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Are you sure? I mean, we may not actually be here.
Oh, you're here. Trust me. My
Yeah.
fever dreams would not involve any of you.
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm absolutely
But see,
positively.
we'll just go through a couple of things here for a second. I'm wearing pants.
Yes, that is
He
true.
is wearing pants.
That is true. You're wearing pants, and Matthew hasn't had his glasses on the entire time. This is kind of weird.
It's like one of those
Mhm.
projections that are nearly perfect, but there's some slight imperfections. Odie wearing pants is one of those imperfections.
Yeah, this if we were in the Matrix, I would know this something agents are about to show up because Odie's wearing pants.
Pay no mind to the inconsistencies. The simulation, I mean, reality is exactly as it should be.
I'm not wearing an earpiece under my headphones.
You know what? Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. Everything's perfect.
Everything is perfect. I like the way a person said, "Hey, can you guys discard your
No,
Insta?"
no,
Why?
no,
I'm not going to.
no.
It's kind of like
It's just a bot.
It's
Yes.
just a bot.
I
Yes.
know it's a bot.
Did you?
No
did-
point in
there's a
acknowledging
reason
it.
why I
They're
ignored
everywhere.
that because I mean,
I don't ignore things. I'm not an ignorer.
yeah, that's
No, you're the old man clicking on things.
yes. What's this do? What's this do? What's this do?
That's how you
Hey,
get your
engineering, can you
identity
come
stolen.
here? I know I clicked on it 50 times, but it won't work.
I was looking at something here and it said I need to click it because this Nigerian prince wants to give me $7 million. What do I do? Do I press the button?
Yeah, we already know you already gave your money. That's the reason why you're here. Let us talk about Thunderbolts. So if you haven't seen it, we're going to talk about it and we're going to do spoilers. It's been a week. This is America, and most people are going to see the movie. You've already seen it at least once. So if you haven't, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about it. And I am curious because Cameron and I have already had this discussion, but we have not talked to Matthew about it at all. So Matthew, you have the floor. Tell us what you think about this movie.
So it's no news to anybody that I have been very excessively critical about Marvel over the past few years because their movies have been really bad over the past few years. Thunderbolts,
What was the last
or as it is now being known as, the New Avengers,
Oh.
is the first Marvel movie that I have legitimately really enjoyed in years since probably Spider-Man No Way Home.
That was the last good one, was it?
That was the
Okay.
last good one,
Okay.
in my opinion. There's been okay ones since then, like one or two okay ones, but the rest have been pretty bad.
Mediocre.
Mediocre to bad, yeah.
All right.
But no, this one was really good. I had a really good time with it.
All right, let's get into the spoiler part. I'm going to tell you the things that I didn't like because I agree. It's really good. I think it could have been great. And there's just a couple.
There's a few issues with it, of course.
There's a couple things I have a problem with, and they had to do some rewrites because of the writer's strike and all that kind of stuff. I think the trailer tells you the entire plot of the movie.
Oh, it does.
And I hate that. And they did the same thing with Red Hulk.
To be fair,
for
it's also
Captain
a
America.
very simple plot.
It is. It's an effective plot,
Oh, no,
and
yeah.
you see it coming,
Simple
and it's
doesn't
still
mean bad.
because it's heartfelt and you know the focus is Yelena, and it should be because I think Florence Pugh has done such a great job with that character, including when you first see her in Black Widow and what she did in Hawkeye, and everywhere she's been, she just stands out. She does, especially this particular character. I had a problem with that because I knew where it was going. Now the effects and everything, the humor, all that kind of stuff was on point. Really loved it. Love Red Guardian is being over the top.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite is U.S. Agent
Yeah, same.
because of his snark
character.
and his attitude.
I think that he is probably the best written character in the movie.
Agreed.
I have really enjoyed the character arc that he's been going through since Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was the one part about Falcon and the Winter Soldier that I actually really enjoyed. So,
Well, I enjoy the relationship between Bucky and Sam, which is my next problem. Okay. It's not about the movie, it's about the cutscenes. Okay, my biggest problems are about the cutscenes. Not the Wheaties one. That was great.
you mean the
End
end
credits.
credits?
The end credits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
All right.
Not a
I'm sick.
game.
I'm sick. Okay. I said it wrong. The end credit scene, the second one, the final scene, which is the longest one in a Marvel movie so far. The fact that Sam would be arguing with Bucky over copyrights about Avengers, it doesn't fit with the two characters. And I've watched a bunch of other people online who say the same
look
thing.
at the list of
Because-
individuals on that team. Absolutely, it makes
But
sense
that
he
was
would
going to
have an
be
issue with
that was going to be the one thing. The only reason why I think he would do it is because of U.S. Agent, because how much he dislikes that guy with good reason. He should dislike him. The other thing the problem I have is the Fantastic Four ship, because I think it, and whether it's true or it's a false flag, it pretty much lets you know that movie that comes out in 2 months, hey, they can't save that Earth.
Who says it's them on
Right.
the ship?
The other thing is it could be Dr. Doom
Could be
actually on the
Doom.
ship.
It could be their son.
be.
Who knows?
I think that they shouldn't have done the ship in the end
I
credits.
I do agree with that.
No.
They should have done that because then you're thinking. Then it is like. a
And by the way, the
separate
guy who
things.
the writer for Thunderbolts did not write that. The Russo brothers did.
Yeah, the Russo
Yeah.
brothers covered.
So they wanted that in there, and they're the guy. Well, they didn't do Fantastic Four though.
no,
they
no,
did
no, but
Avengers.
They're doing
So,
Doomsday, but
yeah.
they actually filmed the post-credit scene.
on the Doomsday set
Yes,
where they're filming that.
which
Um,
had all those actors confused.
Yeah.
is
So
funny.
again, if I had a chance to go see it again, I probably would because I really like the movie. But I hate being nitpicking. But if you're reviewing a movie on a show, which we've been doing, I've now been reviewing for over a decade. I think if I find a couple things, I want to talk about them because I think it's interesting. And then you go on, you read about it. Other people have had that a similar opinion. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. And in the end, they could be playing us with that Fantastic Four ship.
Yeah.
And they could be, the end of Fantastic Four may not be anything like what we think it's going to be.
Oh yeah. I also wanted to say with Thunderbolts that I really liked Bob's character and how they depicted mental illness and directly addressed his substance abuse issues and things like that.
I agree with
really
I agree
really
with all
enjoyed
that,
all
but I have a problem with Bob, and he reminds me of someone who used to work here, and I saw that person up there the entire time. And because of that, it really, and it may not be who you think it is, they have the same first letter. And
Yeah.
also 3 letters. Do you know who I'm talking about? Your buddy.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I just see him, he who got a text through to everybody
Yeah.
before he left. Him. So that's who I see up there. And the chicken scene's great.
Yeah,
It's,
all
the
the
chicken
void-
scene was hilarious.
all
it
all
was.
the void rooms are.
I was on
fantastic.
meth.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, with
the void room stuff
Yeah.
was so visually
There was
interesting.
also a blink if you blink you'll miss it kind of moment with Walker hitting Bob's dad on the way out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
just like yeah.
and I would
'Cause
tell
that's
you
what goats do.
Yes.
it was, and we mentioned this last week, but I'm gonna mention again the fact that we saw it on a Thursday night, and there has been times on Thursday night movies where the theater has not been full, and we did not see it in IMAX. We saw it in one of the off theaters, and it was pretty full.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
it was probably
theater
three
had
quarters
like
away.
3 empty seats.
Yeah, so that's I think the true test to find out if, as a guy said as we were walking out, we are so back. I looked at him and was like, okay, I don't know what you mean, but all right, dude.
I hope that it's not just a one-off, but I expect it's probably a one-off.
Well,
Success.
here's the thing. We're gonna find out if this is a true Marvel movie and if this will help theaters by what it's doing now this weekend.
So here's a question
Because
for you.
word of mouth makes people go, and then people going back to see it again.
Here's a question for you. That Florence Pugh, not spelled Pugh, but spelled Pugh. Is she in most of the movie?
She's a star.
Okay, we're going to watch it.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some Dragon Ball and some other stuff. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. The moment Bob walked on the screen, I'm like, that's a noob. Absolutely a noob.
You're focusing a bit more on the
No, that's something he had programmed beforehand. This is a mistake that happened 2 hours ago.
The voice of the Carolinas. So
Yeah, but
they don't know it's a rejoin.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
we both know.
Rock, paper, scissors.
We all know. I don't need to do that.
Do
You
it.
get noob, dude.
Rock, paper, scissors.
No.
Did it have something in it? And did it
It's
have
a call to rejoin.
No.
Yes. We can get technical here.
Let's get technical.
As the person who put it in.
Let's get technical. Technical. You just sit in your tower.
Quantum mechanics, huh?
Also, I do like the fact that they gave Red Guardian like some legitimate his talk with Yelena like after the Century fight.
Yeah,
That was
no,
really
I
good.
would have had issues if he was only a comedy character and
Yeah,
literally
different
nothing
kind of
else.
fight.
No, there was a lot of emotional heart in there because it
but
was
how's
her
that? Oh, you
story
can't find-
and using him as a linchpin
What are
for
you
that.
looking for?
While also having some fun with him because he is kind of a has-been kind of guy
Yeah.
was fun.
But it's a continuation of the character. I mean, he was
Exactly.
heartfelt in Black Widow too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He
And,
is-
and there was that, those two together.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Yeah. Is Black Widow good? Yeah, I love
Movie?
that movie.
No.
Never seen it.
All right, don't listen. Matthew's hypercritical.
It's not as bad as some of the worst ones we've had recently, but it's kind of mid.
It would definitely help you if you went to see Thunderbolts, if you had seen that.
Yeah, no. If you hadn't seen that, the Black Widow movie, you'll be missing a lot of background details on characters.
I mean, I think you can get by without seeing Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think Black Widow is kind of a must.
yeah.
But if you've seen
You'll
it
have
all,
no idea who the main.
I heard a
character
noise
is.
out in the hallway. Someone else
Yeah.
here? I said I heard a noise out in the hallway.
Somebody check.
You think it's a ghost?
No, I'll check. It doesn't matter. I mean, other people are allowed to be.
Oh, there is. Oh, Charlie's here. Oh, no, that's not Charlie.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see.
I need to watch that, Mark.
What kind of vehicle is it?
No, I thought it was Matthew Scarlett there.
Yeah.
Is this the?
I could have moved my head the wrong way and the snot all shifted
Mm.
and it sounded like a noise.
Mm.
It's very possible.
Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality.
No, I wouldn't believe you because elves are really heavy and there couldn't be an elf on my shoulder right now. Texture says if I told you there was an elf on your shoulder, would you believe it? Plus, elves are on shelves and my shoulders are not shelves.
This?
On the text line.
No, you're not.
Absolutely, I am. Would you like to come over so I can point the line to you since you just called me a liar? Punk. Now, pants are restricting your way of thinking. I think we're gonna have to institute a no pants.
I think
No, you can't be wearing pants anymore, Dave.
I need
Right, Lesser Odie.
I need to take my pants off and jacket.
Why do you ask, Braden?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a weird question, you know.
No, we're
You,
not.
you can look up the address.
I would
I
like
mean,
to state
but
that we are 3 burly men.
yeah,
And one of
and
us-
Matthew,
And Matthew.
and
What?
you're not burly. We're burly. You're not burly.
Yeah.
I'll also state the facts.
we,
Hey,
have,
too.
we have a fastball special between any of us can do the fastball special.
We'll
I don't
just
think
say,
I don't think Matthew wants to be thrown by anyone. I'm just saying.
we'll just say Odie's well protected.
Yeah, that's all we
Hey man, we got a whole arsenal here.
Yeah.
Gun
We
show.
got the gun show.
Good shit.
That's the rejoin.
Why is he yelling?
I don't know.
Stay and score.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Odie and Cameron. Matthew here. Hey, we were doing podcast radio before podcasts existed. We've been here for over a decade, talking pop culture on Saturday nights and other weird stuff because we like to, because we can, and because no one stopped us. And most importantly, because we have a sponsor. Shout out to Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive in Greenville. Go there. Tell them that you heard about it on the Upstate Pulse. All right, Dragon Ball Diamond's late.
Hold on.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hey, listen,
What?
you could, I want to commend you for jumping in there because I had already forgotten because I'm sick.
Yeah.
But you wanted to make sure that we stayed honest.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Go ahead. There we go. Odie made a mistake just because you guys didn't catch it. I did. So that's all that matters.
I give a prize to anybody that caught it.
A prize.
Yes.
The kind of prize.
My pants.
That's what I thought. All right. Dragon Ball
No,
Diamond.
if someone can text in or on the stream,
We
us
talked about
exactly
it
what-
on the
No,
stream.
We didn't.
We absolutely
We did.
did.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
Yeah, we did. We were
Where
all
are you?
there. I don't know where you are. I mean, I
You're
mean,
in Odie land.
he just wants to give his pants away. That's all. He knows we talked about it.
Maybe I do.
Stop trying to give away your pants.
All right, so Dragon Ball Daima, we've got just a couple of episodes left in the dub. Matthew's already seen the sub, but if I'm reading, I'm not watching, so I'd rather hear English. And so the latest episode, they're fighting the Demon King, and there's this form that wasn't there before, that because it was in GT and people absolutely hate GT. I still think GT had its moments, but I'm a lot nicer than other people.
JT had moments. But
Yeah.
Overall, it was pretty bad.
Super Saiyan 4 was that moment.
Oh yeah.
But and I had this observation with Cameron. So the other Namekian, the oldest Namekian, the only, well, anyway, he
Seems to be the most competent
yes,
Namekian ever.
yes, or maybe the most competent person in the entire demon realm. He
Hey kid, here's
he
the
decides
power-up.
he starts to it looks like he's bringing out latent power from Goku, who had just got knocked down, and the first thing I think is, oh, Guru. So he's doing Guru, and he's bringing out what he did for Gohan, because he's bringing out latent power. But instead he starts changing form, like, oh, okay, starts growing the tail back, starts growing fur. It's like, okay, Super Saiyan 4, I didn't think that existed in this particular timeline, continuity, whatever.
Also, I gotta say, he was so buff in that
Yes,
form.
yes, he was. He was stocky.
He was just
All right. So first of all, and I want Matthew's opinion on this first. Why didn't he turn into an adult? Like in GT, he was a kid, and when he went Super Saiyan 4, he turned into an adult. Why didn't he turn into an adult here? It looked like he went teenager.
Because they didn't want to do that same explanation. I guess. I don't know.
also. I don't think it would work. Just why would he turn into an adult?
Yeah, I don't get that either. No, I don't. I mean, if you did it there, why wouldn't you do it here?
I don't think it made sense in the first place.
True, but it's already been done a certain way.
True, but I mean, why wouldn't you want to see something different then? Why wouldn't you want to see Super Saiyan 4 as a kid?
But he wasn't a kid. He was a teenager.
Eh,
You don't think he definitely got taller. twice the size of what he was.
No, he just bulked up.
No, he got taller.
He
I
just
got
bulked
taller, but I
up.
didn't grow up.
I think he got taller.
He-
What? We'll have to
he
check out the
bulked
dimensions later. We'll have to watch it again.
Like,
I'm pretty sure.
that they made him a little bit taller in terms of the model because they needed to in order to actually exemplify the musculature they were trying to show.
All right. The next thing I'm going to
Yeah.
ask Matthew, since no one agrees with me, but that's fine. I don't care. Why has it never been used again afterwards, though? See, that's the thing. When you go back, when we already know where Super is, and which is ahead of this, you go back and you introduce a form, and you never see the form again. It's like retconning, I guess, to a degree.
I don't want to say anything because
Okay,
I don't
all
want
right,
to spoil
all right,
anything, but
okay.
yeah.
We have speculated on what might happen to make them no longer remember stuff, and we'll see if that happens or not. Okay. But what'd you think about the episode overall, Cameron?
Oh, I loved it. The action was fantastic. Seeing Super Saiyan 4 was good to see again.
It was really good. I loved it. I think Matthew's
I wanted
already
Vegeta to get back up. It's
yeah,
like,
me too. I wanted him to go Super Saiyan 4 also, and it didn't happen. There's 2 episodes left. It's probably not going to happen, but I wanted to see that. So Matthew's already expressed that he likes the series, and
I enjoyed Daima a lot.
yeah,
It had a few issues here and there, but overall I enjoyed it.
yeah, me too. All right, so we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit AI Takeover, and then probably we're going to hit the Nerd Roundtable, and then we're going to hit Lightning Round. We're going to do it all in the last half hour of this here show. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on Newstalk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
So y'all were on episode 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cliffhanger was glorious.
Yeah.
Glorious. What do you think his wish is?
Yeah.
Obviously, to give Orange superpower, right?
Yeah, of
That's
course.
what it's going to do.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it totally isn't super obvious that there's literally only one singular wish he could possibly be making.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, Chris, it's a technical issue, and probably has to do with overmodulation by said host. I'm just guessing, because that can cause cutout. And there's other things, but it's
The last 2 episodes here, though, by the way, are absolute peak.
okay, cool.
Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Dom retained, by the way.
He is not the Grand Poobah.
I'm executive producer. Odie, quit trying to take it like it's a slap on your ego.
No, you're.
I have a thing on my door in there that says,
Yeah, but it doesn't. It says executive Poobah.
here's the thing. You know, there are many interpretations for certain titles. Also King, Emperor, Lord of all, producers, you know, that sort of thing.
You can do whatever you want.
I know.
I'm a small G.
Because I'm all those things that I said.
I'm a small G god. I'm a small G god.
You're just Odie, but that's cool. You have an awesome show on Sunday night.
Small G god.
At least I've heard that it's awesome.
You're a weekly opponent on Supernatural.
It's only natural.
How are y'all feeling now that you've been seeing Big Goma in action? How y'all feeling about Big Goma?
Who?
As in, like, big bulky
Big
Goma.
Goma.
Big Goma. Okay.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
like,
I didn't quite catch that. I love it. His
It's-
head just stays the same.
yes,
does.
his
It's
head
like
stays
so
the same.
bulky.
It's so stupid. It's so perfect.
If there's any of you out there that haven't a clue what they're talking about, I feel
All right,
you.
here's
know,
the thing.
I don't
you know,
know. I'm,
You're
I'm
the
just-
odd one out.
we know
I'm
you're the
listening
one.
to
There's a way to solve that, Odie.
yeah.
You could
I-
just actually do the things that we're going to talk about.
I do a lot of them, but there's a lot of time that Odie just does not have.
Listen, here's the thing. There's a reason why you're wearing pants,
Yeah.
because you think you're the adult in the room. But you know, we all know what you are.
When I'm in a room on my
know
own,
what
there's
you
not
are.
even an adult in the room.
Yeah, I know. We're also there's different rooms. There's a lot of things comes into play. I am not going to be negative about any people, and
I'm not
why
being negative. I'm just saying I don't understand what you're talking about.
I am talking to Chris
Oh,
on
okay.
the stream. And so those are things that I can't address. And hopefully you didn't just jinx us, Chris, and make this thing. And it has cut out before, but it's usually because a computer has died or something.
Some would say overmodulation.
By the way, this thing might be over before we even get home.
Really?
McAfee and Gunther's getting ready to happen.
Oh,
There's been a lot of matches. Well, actually, there's been like 3. I think there's only like 6 matches or 5.
Can I give Braden a little bit of advice?
I'm not sure you know the advice to give
I do.
because of we have no
No, not on that. Not on that.
I was going to say, as far as coming here, we have no internships that are not
No, but I'm
paid,
not, no, because
and you can shadow, but you're going to have to go through Mark
I'll give you
Hendricks.
advice in a minute because he's talking and he's like he doesn't know the advice I wanted to give him.
Yeah, I'm answering your question directly.
You don't need a direct answer.
All right, it's time for AI Takeover. We don't do this all the time, but every once in a while because something happens. This was brought to my attention by Rod Brown from the Rob Brown Show. Don't know why Rod Brown is on the Rob Brown Show, but he is. You know who else is on that show? I am. It's an award-winning program. We are the South Carolina Broadcast Association Sports Show of the Year, 2 years running, 3 of the last 4, and hopefully getting ready to be again. We hope.
You mean London and Rod?
Hoping to defend. No, it's Weemus and Pitts. But anyway, Rob brought this to my attention because I have a problem with AI and some of the things. And trust me, there are things that AI does that is good. But like most things, it can be turned to evil if put in certain hands. And I have a problem with this. And we already talked about it on that show, but we haven't talked about it on this show. So I want to talk about it and get the opinion of you, the listener. 800-905-0989 is the text line. Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at 98.9 WRD, the Upstate Pulse. And of course, I want the opinions of the people in the room. NBC recently got the rights to NBA basketball again. They haven't had it since it looks like the 1990s or something like that. They had a guy who was their voice. His name is Jim Fagan, and he is passed away, but his family gave permission for them to use AI to use his voice for a bunch of their intros and promos and things like that. And I have a problem with it. First of all, they say he's legendary. I've watched the NBA a bunch. I didn't know who it was. There are some guys whose voices I wouldn't like. If James Earl Jones suddenly shows up and is doing voiceover for Jeep, it's going to be like, okay, that's AI. Why are they bringing his voice back? So you can bring voices back of people that you don't really know, and people are not going to notice. So what's the point? What I'm saying is you can use a local voice talent. You can use a national voice talent. You don't need to go back and get someone who's passed away. The family gave permission, but the thing is, how far does permission go?
I don't really care that they gave permission. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Just genuinely.
How far does permission go as far as someone who has died? Yeah. I mean, I get you are over their effects. You can give away, stuff if they had a will. And does a will go that far? And if they didn't have a will, and I don't know if they did or not, and I'm not sure that he left the will because AI didn't exist when the guy died to this degree. So if someone passed away 10 years ago and they didn't have a will that said, hey, you can use my voice, should you have permission as the family to use their voice?
Yes.
No.
Because if you are the executive of the estate, then you have permission for his image, which if you're saying that he was the commentator for NBA. If he's the commentator for NBA, so that means that his image is associated with the NBA. If you're if you own his image, you own his likeness, you own his voice, which is part of his likeness. And if you want to use his voice, and if you have the power of attorney for that, then you can use it. Now, it also means that there is still revenue being generated from a dead man, but it's the families being looked after beyond the grave. If I mean, you can count it that way. Some people will say it's distasteful, but he's dead. He doesn't care.
All right. See, I have a problem with it a couple of different ways. One, I've already said, I don't think that you should be able to have control over someone's voice who is dead, especially before this age. Now, afterwards, even though I don't like it, if they and some actors have already signed away and said, hey, you can use, and some have said, I think like Robert Downey Jr., if I remember, hey, you can't use me.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But when it happened before any of this technology was available, I don't see how you're allowed to do that. The other thing is the fact that they're using, it says NBC hopes to evoke nostalgia for 1990s basketball. Here's the thing.
You can do the same thing with a soundboard. If you wanted to compile some of his most iconic lines to use as a soundboard and then hire a new announcer, bringing in new talent and promoting that new talent and growing the industry through something like that.
Yeah.
I am vehemently against AI voices in most capacity.
To build onto what Matthew's saying, because that stunts growth in that
Oh, no, it
industry.
does.
Because
It
then
stunts growth,
nobody
it
else
takes
is getting-
jobs, and it ruins careers.
Yeah, nobody's getting an opportunity to grow in that state.
Yeah, no,
'Cause
like
if-
when it comes
if
to
that-
when it
if
comes
that's
to
the
growing,
case-
when it comes to getting new faces, new voices. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that places take in new voices, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you because I'm a new voice to the area, and I understand that 100%.
Sure, but what if people, or what if organizations and companies just use their iconic guys who have passed away?
The
And
whole
it's
point
only
of
just filled in with the voices of the dead at that point.
Yeah, no, it is filled in, but what I'm saying is that the family can decide if they want to. Yes, I would go with Matthew's point of having a soundboard and having his iconic best clips, like something that he would say. I'm not going to say it in case there's any copyright on them, which is another strange thing that we can't. There's certain phrases that we're not allowed to say because even just saying them is infringing on copyright. But what I'm saying is, yes, you can bring them back, and if it's still making money for the family, if the family need it, I mean, it's a way for someone to look after the loved one. Yes, you can use soundboards, and yes, you should be bringing in new voices. But the point that I want to make as well is that how many times do you listen to songs on the radio, if you do listen to songs on the radio, where the artist is dead?
Yes, but they're not new songs.
That's
That's the
different.
thing.
That's
This
the
is
point.
this is new.
That's not
They,
what that we're
they have the
learning.
permission to make this guy
Yeah.
do anything they want. And I know you're going to bring up the Beatles.
Yes.
And I get it. And I get that.
Yeah.
I do. But this is
There's a
different.
massive difference between something like an AI voice that is replacing a position compared to replaying
No, and
old
that's,
music.
yeah, and that's what I'm agreeing with.
That is
Yes.
a piece of art that has been made and is lasting. Lasting art is important, and we love that. What we do not like is AI tech bros
Mhm.
coming in and destroying jobs and destroying industries
so
through something like
You're
this.
a big Star Wars fan,
Yes.
and James Earl Jones is dead.
Yes.
And if they were to make another Star Wars with Darth Vader in it, would you want James Earl Jones' voice as Darth Vader or somebody impersonating him?
I would love to see somebody come in and take their own take on the Darth Vader voice.
So would
Generally
I.
speaking, also,
but
there's so many voice filters over it that 90% of the
Yeah.
time
Oh, you
you're not
could.
going to notice. But yeah,
Yeah, okay. I'm just curious about
the,
that.
the way around that is that they would just use Hayden Christensen probably.
that's also true.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
I
with
know
the
that he would
voice.
love to do that. He has very much
Didn't
vehemently
they do a
been.
blend of that in
super-
Obi-Wan?
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did.
they
What they
blended his voice. It was his voice and his voice.
Yeah.
They didn't actually use James Earl Jones for
Because
that.
yeah,
one,
it's
because
just
they-
like
There's
hey,
a
he's so
reason.
much angrier in this one.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a reason why video game voices and why actors went on strike because of this very thing. And
Yeah.
I don't think I for some reason I thought this would have been covered. And I think it all comes down to why do you have the right to do it as a family? And I get the executor, I get all that. But if this happened, if someone died a long time ago,
Yeah.
before this technology exists, then they could not have given permission for
no,
this.
not even slightly. No,
Right,
and they can't.
But
and
the
they can't.
family did,
Yes.
and they're using it,
Yes,
and
they
I
did.
have a problem.
So
And that was why I said specifically was I don't care if they gave permission because the issue isn't a matter of permission. It's a fundamental issue to me.
Yeah, no, and I get that exactly, and I do get the point that I want to hear new voices on the radio. I want to hear new voices at sports games. I want to hear new commentators. I want to hear because the older voices, like for argument's sake, in Ireland, there's an old radio presenter, and he's finally hanging up his headphones after 40 something years. He should have done it a long time ago, and I'm like, yes, that needed to happen, but. And there's no but, and somebody new is going to come into the position, and it's going to be the same show with a new presenter, and it's great. But if a family decides, well, we want that to happen, but as well as that, I mean, if you had a dead relative and you could listen to them saying new stuff,
Yeah, we talked about that. It's not a way to let go.
No,
I mean,
it's not.
it's not healthy. But
I was about to say, when the time comes and
really,
hopefully this is like hopefully this is years ahead, and dad passes away. I don't want anybody to use his voice anymore.
You don't have to worry about that. It's not really. It's not that good of a voice. So I mean,
but I will say one thing is that when we are all dead, and it's going to happen, the four of us in this room at some stage.
Well, not me, but the rest of you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Matthew might be
immortal. So
I'm 700 years old as it is.
I plan on being translated, which would be awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, but all of our voices,
if you know,
are recorded. Like everything that we say tonight is recorded. So in 90 years' time, somebody could be looking through the files and like, Upstate Pulse, what's that? And they'll listen to it and like, them guys were funny. And they'll hear our voices again. And if somebody was to play out all of our voices again, would you be angry about that?
No, but that's different. That's totally different.
That's like running a rerun of Mayberry.
Literally what that is. Yeah.
There's a difference between live content and archive content.
It's about new stuff. It's new stuff that that they're using the technology to make the guy say something he never said before.
Yeah, no, I get that, and like I think if the family allows it,
I was about to say,
I'll put it down.
What
to
argument
this.
are you trying?
I'm not putting in an argument. I'm putting down that if the family allows it, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it.
There absolutely is.
There can be an outcry by the people who watch the product or listen to it.
Just because somebody says, I give you permission to kill me, does not mean you can go and kill that person.
Well, you can, but
he does not, by the way. He does not.
No,
I do not, obviously.
I don't know why you
people were asking for the address earlier. No, there's no permission given.
That was meant to be an extreme example.
No, but I mean, you can say that there's an outcry. There already was. There was a strike, and now they're still doing it.
Well, there's been multiple strikes, and there'll be even more.
They're
because
continuously
of this
on. This isn't a one strike thing.
They're moving on to the next.
Strikes
they're moving on to the next
ongoing.
technology, trying to find what else that they can get away with. And each one of those,
every single one is a way for a company to save money by not paying people.
Absolutely,
and true, and I get that. But if you're striking, just for argument's sake, I'm dead, you're alive, right? And you strike because you're saying I don't want Odie's AI voice on this show, for argument's sake, and they say, well, if you're striking, you're not here, so we're going to use Odie's AI dead voice. So, is it a case of you can strike or?
Well, it's not really about striking. What it's about, it's about consumers. And if consumers say, hey, I don't like what you're doing. I mean, the strikes do have to happen, but also consumers saying, hey, I'm not watching that. Why are you doing that for? And suddenly ratings are down and people are saying, hey, we're not watching because of this. And then they don't watch. Then eventually they get the message and they take it off of there.
Yeah, no,
I don't think that's going to happen with the NBA because ratings are down already.
Yeah. But the thing is,
and by the way, bringing this guy's voice back is not going to bring the people back who were watching in the 90s.
All I'm literally doing is playing devil's advocate and just putting all.
Well, you've already pointed out earlier that you are the devil, so
you have to have
$20.
Exactly.
You have to have a little bit of sympathy for it.
Are you reaching in your pocket to get to 20? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, I don't have any sympathy for AI Tech Bros.
Or the devil.
I'm just saying for the devil.
Yes.
Sympathy is a song.
Yes, it's.
Okay.
It's a Rolling Stone.
Yeah,
I would be willing to have a bit more sympathy if he didn't owe me $20.
There you go. I mean, when someone owes you money,
super shotgun ready.
I've got a question that will end all questions. Why does the devil owe you $20?
I'm not at liberty to talk about that. That's gathering news. That's specific gathering talk.
Was it a failure on his part or yours?
He has a no disclosure.
I
agreement.
never failed. So it's all on his part.
He's got an NDA. He can't tell us because that would negate the $20. And why would he do that?
I'm gonna ask him.
Who, the devil?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to talk to yourself during the break?
You know why Irish people talk to themselves? No, that's wrong. Yes, you know why Irish people talk to themselves? Sometimes we need the advice of a genius.
All right. As we go to break, the texter says, Lonzo, could they recreate the audience with AI? Yeah, because there's only like 5 of you, so it's probably not that hard to do. All right, you listen.
There's 34 of them watching on the
you're
screen.
listening to, it's a joke, Odie. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Caught a stray right there.
Well, we didn't get to do Roundtable.
Yeah, I know.
That was
Technically, it was a roundtable discussion. McAfee's getting the mess beat out of him, which you kind of figured was going to happen anyway, and he's toying with him now. But Pat's doing what he does. He's standing back up. Uh-oh, is he hulking? Is he hulking up? Hulk up, Pat. Oh no, he's going to sleep. He's going to sleep.
Yeah, it's not looking good for that.
Don't tap. Get his hands off of there. There you go. Get his hands off.
All right, Schrodinger's Christopher.
I'm saying I'm not tapping. I don't think Odie's tapping. I don't think Cameron's tapping. You put me to sleep.
Yep.
Oh, I'm tapping.
Matthew would never be in that position because he's too fast.
Well, no.
All of us are getting caught.
No, Odie,
I'm tapping.
I just figured you'd do it.
It's not what I'm talking about. It's submission. Would you tap to submission?
Oh, I'd submit.
When the submit is, when the submission would be you'd be not knocked out cold.
Submit, baby.
You always got to go somewhere.
Always got to go there.
He lives in the gutter. His realm is the gutter.
Listen, if you don't want to see Odie in the gutter, you need to come in here on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. Well, no, because I was talking about shaving your plums. Because they're hurt before you eat them. You know, you got to shave. But yeah, that was one of the
Next week, no pants, Odie. Take it however you want.
All right.
I think I need to look like us.
Oh!
What?
Yeah, he hears what he hears. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Please do not do that. I guess he's ready for it. He's going to flip, but.
He's not. He's just going to elbow him off and they'll jump at
Moonsault. He's going to moonsault.
him.
He's done a successful moonsault before.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, nice kick. He is a kicker. He
Mm-hmm.
was a kicker. His leg's pretty strong. Makes sense. Oh, he just punted him. He ain't going to beat him, though. That's just. I've been in the room with Gunther. You're not going to do that.
I could take
him.
Hunter.
He deserves a chop.
I could take Hunter. I could take him.
Yes. No matter what I do with the light, dude. I'm not really that bright. Ugh.
We need to set up a fight with me and Gunter. I could take him.
No, you can't.
The German uns the Paddy.
Well, he's from Austria.
You get flipped. That patty would get flipped very easily.
Well, maybe
He is the ring
You
general.
would become a smash burger.
Maybe I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, what he's a smash
He can
burger.
take him in a fight, right?
Yeah.
He can take him.
You call it whatever you want, buddy. You can call it whatever you want.
He doesn't get it. That's fine. That works even better.
Oh,
You.
I do get it. Take me anywhere he wants.
No, he just wants to see you get beat up. That's
Oh,
I told you didn't get it.
I get it.
Hunter doesn't get it.
No, you and I are the one.
So apparently we don't get it.
All right, maybe I was being wishful. I'm also my attention is divided.
Tap, tap, tappy. Tap, tap. Do you know if you do that when someone is actually putting on a putting green? You know, if you go tap, tap, tappy, tap, tap, taparoo, it'll make them laugh and they miss completely. I found that out during the week. Played golf during the week. I went,
Is that what happened to you? Is that why you're wearing pants?
Yeah.
no, I'm wearing pants because it's cold outside. Freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
It's not cold outside.
It's not warm.
Don't help him cheat.
Maybe because I'm leaning up a little bit, that maybe I'm feeling the cold more. I don't know.
Probably. Maybe you've lost your rage, Odie.
Maybe.
All right, W has spoken. That means it is lightning round. It means the show is almost over, and my voice is still intact for 10 more minutes, and then I will hack up one of my lungs on the way home. Hopefully not, because I don't want my smart car to get dirty.
Dirty smart car.
Let's throw in well, it's lighting around, so we're going to throw in a bunch of things. There was a question I was going to ask during the roundtable. I'm going to ask now.
Go on.
Why does a drink taste better in a glass that has the drink's name on it? All right, so
Placebo?
so like
Well, no, I have an
so
answer
when
for
I
this.
drink
have an
Dr.
answer
Pepper
first. I have an
in a
answer.
Dr. Pepper glass,
Mhm.
it tastes better.
So if you were a drinker, like an alcohol drinker, if you drink a Guinness from a Guinness glass actually has micro fine pits on the bottom of it that make the head stay longer. And a Budweiser, the head on
the beer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
and Budweiser glasses have bigger pits that make more carbon dioxide, which makes a Budweiser head stay foamier for longer. So they actually do. A Guinness will taste better from a Guinness glass, and a Budweiser will taste better from a Budweiser glass. Facts.
I don't know if what he said was real or not. It sounded good though. It sounded like
did
it's
sound
I
real.
completely
Yeah.
specialized glasses for
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
alcoholic drinks.
really quick. Texter says, "Hey gang, good show as always." Question: was Cameron at Borderlands last Saturday? If not, we saw his twin. Yes, he was there. So was I. So
Maybe his twin was there
yeah,
also.
yeah, it could have been.
Was there
You
two of
may
you?
have seen me with the Green Goblin helmet.
Yes, you may have seen that. For so I gotta tell you, I don't know why. I get all that, but the Dr. Pepper glass we have is like the real thick, you can't see through it kind of thing that's in a restaurant.
Yeah,
and for some reason it just tastes better.
It's got Dr. Pepper in it.
I pour Dr. Pepper.
It's made from Dr. Pepper.
I don't know if
It
the
is.
glass just because it says Dr. Pepper on it. For me, it tastes better.
The doctor blessed it.
70 years of the Muppets as of yesterday. Muppets
Hey-ho.
are 70 years old. Matthew, what's your favorite Muppet?
Kermit.
Kermit the Frog.
Cameron, your favorite Muppet?
It's between Beaker and the Swedish Chef.
You took mine, Beaker. I mean, you can't go wrong with Beaker, really. Yeah, he just. I mean,
Exactly. He's here.
Yeah.
He's here with us.
Yeah. I love Beaker, and I like Scooter. I know it's weird.
Yeah.
I know Scooter's weird, but he's like Kermit's assistant. He's like the only one that really knows what's going on, and I think, and Sam the Eagle. I would say Waldorf and Statler, but those guys. I mean, the old guys. I am those guys now. So
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
don't
you
know.
and Odie.
Yeah. Wow.
And Cameron's getting faded
Yeah,
for the rest
all
of the show.
Odie,
Yeah.
what is your favorite Muppet?
My favorite Muppet is Fozzie Bear.
That makes a lot of sense.
Actually, that's
That
just.
makes
I mean,
perfect sense.
that's just like, yeah.
Waka waka.
Why did that joke hit? I don't know.
Hey, Kermit. Waka waka.
That's not bad. That's not a bad.
By the way, I just
Ozzy.
liken you to Kermit the Frog, Dad,
what?
for this show at least.
Okay.
Because this feels like the Muppet Show.
But with all of that being said,
You know what? I do feel like it's the Muppet Show, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Is
a
it-
variety show.
is it 80 years?
70,
70.
70.
according to the story I read. Yes, 70. It's the end of the show. If you want to correct me, we got 5
no,
minutes for you to
If,
look it up.
if we are the Muppet Show, Lonzo, of course, would be the Kermit of the show. Would that make Rob Brown the Miss Piggy?
Rod.
Kermit.
No, it would make him Gonzo.
It would make him Gonzo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about the Muppets, and since we're talking about 70-year anniversary, a tip of the cap to Mr. Jim Henson. Because without him, we wouldn't have the Muppets. He was amazing.
I agree. He's also dead.
He is, unfortunately. Sorry.
Let's see.
All right, there, Christian Cage.
All right.
Yeah, boy, Dave.
Borderlands 4 coming out here, I believe it's in September. The guy who made it's like, give it a chance because apparently it's a little bit different than the other ones. And he just went Todd Howard and said, if you see it, you can climb it. Is that a normal thing for Borderlands? Since I don't like the art
Borderlands
style.
is a lot more linear. In a lot of cases,
Supposedly it's still linear to a degree, but if you see a mountain, a landscape, something like that, you can go to it.
I watched some gameplay, and I'm interested. I like the gameplay for Borderlands 3. The story was better in Borderlands 2 because Handsome Jack is just such a good villain.
It's hard to
You
surpass.
would love Handsome
I
Jack.
probably would.
Oh,
I
he's
just
great.
didn't know there was a handsome Jack in it.
Let me.
Why should there be a handsome Odie?
There is a handsome
Bud
Odie. He's
Stallion.
beautiful.
So I bought
Sorry,
a literal
what?
horse made out of diamonds.
Oh no, I was close.
I even have
The
a,
handsome Jack gets a horse made out of diamonds and he names it Butt Stallion.
he did try
He
to.
will constantly just call you throughout the game just to taunt you.
Oh, like one, he's like eating pretzels. He's like, oh god, pretzels suck. So how are you doing, buddy?
need to play a game that has a horse called Butt Stallion.
All right,
can play
I
it
want
on
to
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I'm still about my expedition 33, and this game is being lauded as, you know, a lot of people love this game, and for good reason. Thought I beat it today. I did not. There was a swerve that I was not prepared for, and I can't go into detail because other people are playing it, and it's just one of those where I am talking to the TV like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I did not. Really? Are you serious? Okay, I guess I'm not done. So, and I was trying to finish so I could get here, and I was running a little bit later because, all right, Odie, we know that now you're going to have to explain to LexCorp why you decided to put Butt Stallion
Did you
on
actually look up
98.9
Butt Stallion?
WORD's Facebook page. You responded as Word as Butt Stallion. Okay?
You should not have done that.
And this is not Matthew's fault. This is you.
This is funny.
Is it? Is it? I don't know that it is. No, that's complaints. That's what this is. No, this is.
Yeah, you
This-
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, this is complaints to the office on Monday, probably.
Now it's gone. See,
No, people saw it, and the internet is forever.
I
So
don't care.
I
It's
mean,
funny.
some things maybe get consultation before they. And so I'm saying, Peacemaker season 2 trailer. Cameron, what'd you think?
It's going to be interesting. I think he's going to technically kill the other Peacemaker.
I don't know. Which Peacemaker is going to kill which Peacemaker?
The one from the universe that's crossing over will be killing. The one who's currently in the DCU will be dead.
All right, so we knew that Rick Flag Sr. was going to be in this. Didn't realize that he's going to be chasing him the entire time.
It would make sense.
It does. It does.
Because I mean, he did love his son, and you do tend to avenge the things that you love.
All right, Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. The second trailer's out. Odie, what'd you think about that trailer?
Thought it was amazing.
Here's the thing with, and we were discussing this earlier, and other people have discussed this online. Don't know how much of it is gameplay and how much of it is just a bunch of cutscenes. But the graphics look amazing.
If the gameplay is anything like the cutscenes, it's just going to be amazing.
I have never played a GTA game, the individual stuff. I played multiplayer with Cameron. Just that game has never interested me.
We did steal a truck.
We did, and I tried to wreck a train. Apparently, a lot of people have done that, and no one has been able to wreck the train.
The train was invulnerable.
I put a bunch of dump trucks on the thing, and it still didn't. I mean, anyway.
You have
So,
any idea how many dump trucks we had to steal?
Chris says, "Is it a Bonnie and Clyde game?" It kind of looks like
It
it.
does look like.
We don't know if they're going to die at the end, but who knows? They may be successful. All right, want to thank everybody for tuning in. All the amazing comments. Please pretend like you never saw the butt thing. You still left it up on Upstate Pulse.
I can't get it down off the Twitch one.
That's fine. It's there now. We again want to thank you for tuning in. Have a great Mother's Day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next week, maybe. Time to die now.
I think one of my favorite things with Handsome Jack in that game, though, of the calls that he does at least, are when he literally is like, "I'll pay you if you just kill yourself."
Yes, I was
And
thinking
then he
about
will,
that.
if you do it, he'll be like, "Oh wow, you actually did it," and then you will, before you get the game over screen, you will get a notification that he paid you.
Yes, he actually
Wow.
follows up. on it.
Wow. All right. Odie. That's your
Yeah.
name. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Matthew, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Cameron, say goodbye.
Hasta luego.
I will
Long live
also-
Butt Stallion.
No, no,
Long live
no,
Butt Stallion.
no.